Regal Movie Masters. Unlimited.
This is the Regal Movie Masters Unlimited podcast, where we indiscriminately watch every goddamn movie that comes out at the local theaters. The movie masters today are Justine.
Hi.
Brent.
Hello.
Dylan.
What's up?
And I am Colin. Our movies that we got on the docket, we're going to talk about them here. We got Book Club, The Next Chapter, Fool's Paradise, and Hypnotic. I thought it would be funny to ask everyone. You won't be able to guess this. What is the combined Rotten Tomatoes critic score of all three movies we've seen this week? It is as if between the week of the Guardians of the Galaxy coming out, which was last week, and Fast and Furious X, which comes out next week, there is a wasteland in between. 86%. If you add all three movies up, they get 83% on Rotten Tomatoes, and Guardians of the Galaxy has an 82%.
Yeah,
with critics. It's that kind of a week. But we'll get to what we got. But first of all, we have emails to address for everyone who's interested. If you would have any interest contacting us, you may email us at moviemasters760@gmail.com. Robbie Stewart, who has given us permission to use his name.
Oh.
Thank you, Robbie.
Yes, we do default to anon, but if you say we can use your name, we will use your name. First off, he's leading with a calling you out, Brent.
Okay.
He says you're giving the writers too much credit of the Black Demon to say that it was Big Oil. Apparently, Black Demon is the name of the Meg.
Wait, of the
Meg,
Of the shark.
Yeah,
the shark.
yeah.
Oh,
I think if there was a dual meaning there, it was completely. He's saying it's completely unintentional.
Robbie, listen up. I was playing on my phone.
He's calling you out, Dylan.
Oh shit!
He said he was going to say that he likes hearing you talk about movies until he caught on that you were just begging for compliments.
Oh.
With your blatant fishing attempt.
What's the begging for compliment?
When you were like, no one wants to hear from me.
Oh, you got
I
voted
know.
out
Oh,
on
it's
the
because I
fake-
literally didn't just watch anything.
I think he's messing with you. And
Thank you.
He's bringing the smoke. He says that I should be watching the Left Behind series, given my penchant for Jesus films.
Oh no!
There's just a series or like a series of movies?
It's a series of films.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like a TV
and it leads with a
show.
Nicolas Cage one. So, and there's a mockumentary too. So Left Behind, the premise is it's everyone after God
Yes.
takes everyone after the apocalypse.
Called The Rapture. Yes.
Rapture, he sucks everyone up. And there's apparently a mockumentary that came out before the first movie, which sounds so much. Remember that movie Day Without a Mexican?
What?
Yeah.
You remember that movie?
That sounds
Oh.
familiar.
You don't remember Day Without a Mexican?
Day without a Mexican?
Yeah, it was like, well, first of all, there was like a real
That was a movement, right?
There was a real movement, like
Yeah.
where people were like, "Oh, let's
remember that.
not show up to work if these
Yeah.
motherfuckers are going to take us for granted so much." But there was a movie where they just disappear, and it was like like a $10,000 movie. It was like very poorly made, and same premise that there's no Mexicans, and the world is falling apart.
They made a movie about it.
Yes, they did. And it was not a documentary, not a,
No.
tell us, let's talk about the impact
Yeah.
that this group has on the people. It was just like a boink, they're
So
gone.
it was a genocide.
No, they just boink.
Oh, they just boinked. Okay, that's cooler. Yeah.
What was
Thanos
the
snap.
thing that happens when a guy hates springs really bad?
Oh yeah, no springs.
Yeah, and then they take springs away.
Yeah, but he plays springs with Mexicans.
Yeah.
That was a sort that's in front of a MST3K sketch. Anyone? Anyone? You remember in MST3K where they'd watch the little like what's the word for those?
I have no idea.
It's no, there's a word for them.
PSA?
PSA, like a
Oh.
little PSA, and the Tom Servo and company would goof on it. And there's one about the importance of springs, and it shows everything missing springs, and there's a little spring demon who goes, "No springs." Apparently, this was not the catchphrase worthy impact to me that it has to the rest of
I
culture.
don't remember any catchphrases from Mystery Science Theater.
Well, this was in the PSA. The spring demon says, "No
Oh, okay.
springs," because
Yeah.
like a guy tries to turn his car on, but guess what?
It's almost like a movie within
Your
a movie.
car runs
Got
on
it.
springs. Goes to lay down in the mattress. Guess what? It's just just fabric, no springs. And then the guy curses, I will never wish there was no springs in the world again.
Oh my God.
The gang had a fun time with that. The Satellite of Love, it was rocking that night. So thank you, Robbie, for writing in. We do like to hear from everyone. If you have anything you like to, questions, comments, things of that nature, hit us up. We're at moviemasters760@gmail.com. Before we get into the reviews, as my increasing sense of responsibility, my quest to be a responsible journalist.
Wow.
We should tell everyone we're going to spoil all these movies. All the movies have spoilers. This is your spoiler alert if you don't care to hear that, because we're not going to hold anything back. It's all in on all these movies. You've been warned. You're looking forward to seeing Book Club, the next chapter?
You can still watch it.
Yeah, but...
Come on back. Just come on back.
Book Club, the next chapter. This is written and directed by Bill Holderman. It's the second in the Book Club series. This movie starts off in the middle of the pandemic. Our gang, who we met in the previous film, Book Club 1, the first chapter, they can no longer meet up in person to talk about books. So they're meeting over Zoom. The world's shut down. We all know the story. The world opens up again. They're just like, let's go to Italy, baby. And they do. And now, I used to say this all the time, but this is very much so a case of hijinks ensuing. And they're running around Italy. Dylan?
Yes.
Tell us about your favorite film franchise.
So when it came out, I think in 2018, it was in theaters. I'm not gonna name drop the theater, but it's one of those fancy, schmancy recliner chair theaters,
Right.
where it's more expensive, a little by a little bit. Saw it in a packed theater, weirdly packed, with just senior citizens. It was just me and a friend of mine, and we just watched it, and we enjoyed it with everyone else in the theater. That being said, I was sad when we watched it, and there was nobody there.
Right.
So it was a juxtaposition.
We didn't get to feel the energy of the crowd.
No, but it was fun to watch it like that because you're just screaming. But Book Club is one of my favorite senior cinema movies. I was trying to remember what it was called. Senior Cinnamons. And
Yeah.
if you like the first one because they were reading books and trying to figure out the problems in their lives, and then at the end they just solved all their problems.
Literally all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're thinking to yourself, what can you do in the next one? Well, my friend, you get to watch them take a vacation.
And read books?
Oh, hell no.
No
The
books
next
in
chapter, they're just referencing a book, but they're not at any point bringing out a book. No
Discussing
reading.
a book.
Yeah.
They had a quote from a book in the beginning,
They're in
And
the
they-
country where they literally cannot read because they don't understand the language.
Yeah. It's awesome. I love this. I really loved Book Club Next Chapter.
It's an ensemble joint. You have Diane Keaton, recently of Maybe I Do and Mac and Rita fame. Jane Fonda, who's just, I feel like the MVP right now. 80 for Brady. Moving On. She was in those movies and this one. And of course, these is the same cast that was in the last Book Club. I that feels like when the same actor plays in the DC movies and the Marvel movies, or in the Star Trek movies and the Star Wars movies. How are you going to be an 80 for Brady, an ensemble cast about, 4 ladies going out and seeing the world, and in Book Club, the next chapter, a movie about 4 ladies.
I think because 80 for Brady's probably a one-off.
Well, 80 for
So
Brady
far.
is a biopic. So you
Yeah.
don't need it.
Oh, but Dylan makes a great fucking point, Colin.
Yeah,
just
whereas
saying
Book Club is for funsies.
I'm just pointing out that Jane Fonda is killing it right now. You got Mary Steenburgen and Candice Bergen, a.k.a. Murphy Brown. You guys watch Murphy Brown growing up? Oh, so none of you had depressing childhoods? Okay.
I dabbled.
She's in it.
I dabbled.
That is a miserable show
Yeah.
to grow up.
But we didn't have a lot of options.
Yeah, no, there's very few. I don't even think it's a bad show.
I mean, you
just
could
think
watch Moonlighting,
I just think it's very funny to be like, what are the shows you watched as a kid? Oh, well, of course, Murphy Brown.
Yeah.
Cheers. God, they did not
Because
take
you should have
children
been
into.
in bed already.
I guess so. They did not take children into consideration around that time. I like a lot that the director of this, Bill Holderman. I was looking up his stats. Right, they produced a bunch of stuff. He has directed exactly 2 movies, Book Club and Book Club 2.
Fuck yeah.
But he has credits like crazy.
Okay.
It was co-written by Aaron Sims. Like both of the films were. She was almost the Yellow Galaxy Ranger from Power Rangers Lost Galaxy.
Almost.
She quit one of her jobs to get that job, and then they recast her at the last minute. She was rough times.
Jeez.
This is fun, right? We unironically had a good time.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, there are jokes.
Yeah.
Would you say those jokes were for you?
To be fair, the jokes are rarely for me in any movie.
Okay.
But this was clearly not for me.
Yeah.
But I get it. It's silly. It's a romp, if you
It's
will.
a sincere, genuine romp.
Yes.
They all get along together so well. It's just fun seeing these people get along. Their group dynamic is very fun. Dylan, you brought up an excellent point in the film, which is that it's just nice to watch, esteemed celebrities who you have a fondness for just on a vacation.
Yeah. Especially elder ones.
Right.
You can't, like, George Clooney on a vacation movie. It's like, fuck off.
That was not very good. Ticket
Adam
to Paradise.
Sandler, it's like, okay, but come on, man. You did give us Billy Madison. You could deserve a vacation.
And you are bringing all of your friends along with you.
Yeah.
So it's not like, George Clooney on that Ticket to Paradise, that was a selfish move. He didn't bring any Saturday Night Live cast members.
Or any Batman. Where was Robin?
Yeah. Come on, Chris
O'Donnell?
Chris O'Donnell? Where's he at?
None of his 11 as Danny Ocean.
God, that would have been so fucking good. And this is like fantasy world. It's George Clooney in Ticket to Paradise, basically doing a Grown-Ups, but instead of the Sandlerverse films, it's just Batman and Robin. So it's like Uma Thurman's there and like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but they're not like obviously in character. They're just there. And just like in Grown-Ups, they have aliases, but you're very clearly watching the movie as,
Chris Rock and David Spade and
Yeah,
Kevin James
they're
all hanging out.
They're technically playing characters in the Grown-Ups films, but damn well you're just watching Chris Rock and Kevin James hang out.
Yeah, hang out at a pool.
Yeah, same principle, but it's Coolio, Alicia Silverstone.
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Coolio.
Yeah, Coolio plays the bad guy, or he plays like a
They're
street.
like some neon.
Oh, from Batman. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I was thinking Tickets to Paradise.
No.
We're
Yeah, we're mixing a lot of universes
I know.
right here.
I'm mixing it up, but hear me out. Grown-Ups, but instead of the Sandlerverse, it's Batman and Robin. Iconic.
Specifically.
Yes, one movie. Anyways, fun movie. It's a good time. It's pretty light. It goes by quickly. I just enjoy the tone of these films. I don't know. I have a good time at them. This one is kind of weird. I walked out of this one and I've come off of watching a lot of movies recently that in the theater that were like, this should have just been streaming. Like this didn't need to be in theater. But I walked out of this movie and I was like, this could be in the theaters. This should be in theaters. I'm glad this was in the theaters. I'm glad I watched it in the theaters. So I wouldn't even say it's like, oh, wait to stream it. It's like, I don't know, felt pretty satisfying as a theatrical release, which I can't say of every movie. Certainly not every movie that's out right now. So I'll give it credit where it's due in that department.
I could see that because it like a lot of movies that are like this could have just been streaming is something that like you can picture yourself just like at home half watching
Right.
or legitimately watching, but it's pretty much just you. And then
Yeah.
there's movies like She Came from the Woods,
Sure.
which is like if you have some friends over, a kickback
Yes.
or whatnot, and you have it on, that's cool. But this does seem like something you go out to watch.
Yeah,
You know,
with
you
a
go
group
out
of
with
friends.
the girls
Right.
or whomever, and and just kind of have a good time, I guess.
The American public would disagree that you should see this in a movie theater, as it only pulled in $2 million off of a $20 million budget, which is actually a pretty modest budget for
What was it, 20 mil?
20 mil.
Given some of the numbers I've been hearing recently for budgets, I'm not
Yeah.
mad at that.
Yeah. We tend to watch all the credits, and when you do that, you realize how many people are involved with the movie, And then when you think about like what a budget is for a movie and you divide those people into it, you come to understand that, a lot of people working on movies, this is very like, you have to be regularly employed. You can't just do one movie and
Right.
retire or take the year off. You have to keep jumping from movie to movie. So there's a montage in this movie where just making observational humor about old statues. And I'm picturing all those people in the credits just going, okay, we're going to do that again. And she's going to talk about the penises on the statue. All right, take 45, go. You know, it's just like I felt for the crew on parts of this one because it was just the jokes were the most played jokes I've heard many times throughout life, and to think of all the people that had to work on the movie having to endure that, my heart goes out to them.
I don't think they took second takes.
Yeah, that's true.
Good point.
And I'll go a step further. I don't think they said those words while in front of the statues. That's
Good point.
a lot of shots from the back
okay.
of the 4 starlets.
Oh yeah.
And they're looking at a statue, and then there's some dialogue being spoken, but I don't know that they're necessarily on the spot.
There's no ambient noise on the voice implying that it's done in an actual overdub.
What do they call that? ADR, right? Where they just come in
Yeah.
after the fact? Yeah, I think they show them looking at a bunch of stuff, and then they do the observations after. But it is very funny that you have to show them looking at, a bunch of touristy kind of locations in Italia.
Yeah, and I don't think the crew workers are giving a shit when they're in Italy.
Oh,
That too.
that's true. And they did during like the credits, they have Polaroids of like everybody,
Right.
Like all the crew. So yeah, they were on vacation too.
Yeah, that kind of bums me out that it's not making any money. I would like them to keep getting to make more book clubs, just because I think it feels like a fun time.
What would you do in Book Club 3?
Book Club 3, choose your own adventure.
Like straight to DVD.
I agree.
It's like
They all go on different vacations and they end up coming together at the end.
there you go, because of all the different
Choose your
choices.
adventure.
made.
It's the husbands.
Oh, that's depressing.
No, it's
Andy
fun.
Garcia and the guy that played Coach.
Heart attack, man.
And the what was Miami? Was he Miami Vice or something?
Yeah,
Don Johnson, yeah.
Boys Night Out.
Yeah, get him in there.
What
And
if
then Candace Bergen, she can date whoever. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think we lean into the book stuff and just hardcore, like basically a podcast, just like a real discussion of a book, like 3 chapters of a
entire
book.
thing. Man, it's tough because all those actors are so talented, but I feel like it'd be like watching LeBron James play like catch in the yard. You're like, I want to watch you play basketball. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm going too hard on this movie. It's great. Check it out.
There is a lot of innuendo. If you were thinking, this is a nice thing to watch with my mom. I don't know.
Well, maybe your mom's cool.
Yeah, maybe you're 40 and she's 60. Get over it. You're fine. It'd be weird if you're a 6-year-old listening to this. You're like, I want to take my mom to watch Book Club 2.
All the minors listening to the podcast.
Dylan, you were saying this is pretty just Golden Girls in tone. Is that a fair comparison to make? I mean, that level of like quote unquote raunchy sex humor, innuendos, that sort of thing.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, I guess like if you like Golden Girls and you like those eps where they like went to like the beach or like they went to another city.
They were out of the house.
Yeah, like whenever they vacation, there's like 2 episodes like that, I believe. If you like those eps and you want to see it like in movie form, but with Jane Fonda and all those people, you'd like this movie, honestly. Old people have sex too. Get over it.
So Candace Bergen is Blanche.
No, I would say Jane Fonda is more like Blanche.
Yeah.
'Cause she's like, I don't want to get married.
Candace is Dorothy.
No, but Blanche is promiscuous, is my point.
Yeah,
And
but
the Candace
what's her
Bergen
name?
character.
She was before she got married, though.
Oh, okay.
So it's like if you wanted to see Blanche get married, the episode.
Yes.
I don't know. Should we spoil what happens at the end? We kind of already warned you, right?
Well, yeah. They're in Italy as like a bachelorette party because Jane Fonda's getting married, right?
Yeah.
And
Like a combination bachelorette party.
Yeah.
Just
so
trip.
Well, yeah, they're going out vacay/bachelor party because she's getting married. And then the twist at the end is like, no, we're just getting married in Italy. We're not going to come back then get married, which is makes me so goddamn angry because you got to think of everyone flying out to Italy to just attend at this wedding. And then twist, she doesn't get married. Diane Keaton gets married instead
Because she said one thing once that her boyfriend overheard at the wedding.
It's that kind of movie.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. Overall, book club, the next chapter. Are we turning the page, or are we just going to stop reading? I'm turning the page. I did genuinely have a fun time with this one. It is probably not, if you're very particular with your comedies or like, I don't know, something with some substance to it. This ain't exactly it. It's a fun time. It is a romp, as mentioned, and this romp, I had a good time. I don't know how you quantify charm exactly, but this was over the line for the charm meter to me, where I was like, you know what? Good time. Unironically, good time.
I don't know. I'm a person that I don't have to read the whole book if I'm not into it.
Yeah.
So I might read half of it, like on Libby, and then it automatically returns, and then I just don't reborrow it. Maybe something like that. It is fine. It's funny. It's fine to watch. It does move along, and it's fun. But I also feel like it kind of wasn't that warm-hearted or something. It seemed a little flat.
Yeah, but I think the trade-off there is you don't end up too hallmarky. You get a little bit of bite.
In some parts, there's like monologues about, I don't know what, because I tuned out. It's a little clunky. You remember.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, this is not high art we're talking about
I know.
here.
So I just sort of feel like it would be fun if it was like an 80 for Brady where it's just wild.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really wild. So it's fine, but it's a little bit lukewarm.
I'll just take the cliff notes on it. I like the first one. I watched it right before. And then this one, I think Justine makes a great point about how it's just not warm, and I don't know, something's kind of missing from it. And if you're the type of person that laughs when somebody goes, that just happened, this is your movie.
America, go do yourself a favor and watch this movie.
America.
Write a fucking book report about it. Please, for the love of God, give them money.
We do want another book.
Yes, I'm going to start a petition.
Book Club 3, whether this one makes money or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your power ranking, this or 80 for Brady? Which movie do you prefer, Book Club 2 or 80 for Brady?
If I had to really put them together and pick one to watch, I will say watching that scene where one of the actors was talking to a helmet connected to Tom Brady and telling him to win the Super Bowl.
Oh my God.
Was a great scene.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was God tier level.
But there is also the
cinema.
jail scene with Mary Steenburgen not wearing any shoes.
That's true. That's true.
Ooh, you're right. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
The sex appeal we'll put on Book Club, the next chapter.
They are having sex in Book Club the
Like a
next
lot.
chapter.
Yeah. They're getting it
Even
on.
though, what's her name? The one with the dying husband. Not the dying
Oh,
husband.
Mary Steenburgen.
Yeah. You get faked out. You think she's having an affair, but they're just making pasta.
Fools. Fool's Paradise, written and directed by Charlie Day, with a, I guess it's not really, what do they call it when it's not an ensemble cast? It's just a million cameos. It's a million cameo kind of movie. Yeah. Charlie Day plays a person with an unspecified mental condition, I guess you could say. It's almost starts with him being diagnosed in a
psychiatric hospital.
Yeah, that's what they call it. And they're like, yeah, we don't know what's wrong with him. He can kind of understand. He cannot talk. If you give him commands to listen, and he'll kind of match your energy if you give him that. And so, of course, it's hilarious because the doctor's trying to talk to him and
gesticulating.
Yeah, back at the doctor. What the doctor is.
He's just copying.
Yeah.
He'll just copy whatever anybody else is doing.
So he has very limited understanding of things. And they're like, well, we don't have the money to house him, so we just got to kind of kick him out to the streets. While he's on the street, he gets wrapped up with some
day workers
selling oranges on the side of the road. Hollywood producer is driving past, sees that he bears a striking resemblance to the actor that the producer is presently having a problem with on set. So he swoops Charlie Day up, takes him to the set, and thus begins this character's career in filmmaking. He's never given a name, never really given a diagnosis or backstory or anything like that.
Latte Pronto.
he is given the name Latte Pronto, but that's not
His
like
real name.
His given name.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
And the movie is talk about a romp. It romps out of control because he's just like now he's in Hollywood. This guy who's mute more or less and is kind of just affable and going with the flow, but the flow is crazy and is a very, very silly, funny film.
Basically, because he just goes along with whatever anyone is doing, a series of things just happen to him,
Right?
and involve him, but he has no like agency.
Yeah, and limited comprehension.
I don't know.
See, it seems kind of I don't know. I guess it's unfair to focus on like his mental condition because it's like I don't know, almost like a Mr. Magoo or a Pink Panther or a Charlie Chaplin kind of thing where it's like he's just a silly fella in a silly
learns
world.
As he goes, though, to your earlier point about it's like when he starts off just kind of mimicking people, you're like, oh, he's just baseline functional. But as the movie develops, he kind of I do think that he learns and he picks up context clues better and he understands words clearly.
And but this, he'll be on set with Adrian Brody. They're on like a cowboy movie. And, Adrian Brody is coming at him like a Black Bart in a Billy the Kid movie. And like, he's just genuinely afraid of Adrian Brody.
Because he keeps beating him up.
Yeah. Well, and even at the end, when they're at the movie premiere, when the camera is, the camera within the camera is showing a gun pointed at the audience in the theater. And, he's very afraid of that.
Yeah, he's ducking at it. It's a 3D movie for no reason.
Yeah.
I think what I really loved about this movie was the tone of it. I think there's a lot of movies we've seen recently, like that Glass Onion movie or even The Menu, where it's like, I really feel these movies are maybe taking themselves a little too seriously or maybe like feel like they're making a very poignant, powerful
statement.
About their film and about their like a scathing indictment about influencers and like the rich and the celebrities and all that. And like it ends up being a little hollow, of course. But this movie, it's more playful. Like it's not mean spirited and it's not self-seriousness. It's not like you would never mistake this film as like a scathing indictment of Hollywood culture or anything. And I don't think it's trying to be that at all. And again, the tone is consistently there. It's never veers into like the cheap or mean-spirited necessarily. And I think you really only make this kind of movie if you feel there's a vacuum in the movie world. You're like, why don't they make silly movies anymore where people are just going around and absurd, silly things are happening? And because you're Charlie Day and you put the time in and you got the connections, like you get to make a very silly, very over-the-top movie. And like, yeah, I feel that it's made with a lot of love. I feel like it's made with a lot of passion, like this is, like I said, something he wanted. Like, it's like, when you don't see the movie you want in the world, so you make it yourself. That's what it felt like to me.
Yeah, I have no problem calling it an instant classic because when you try to do a poignant indictment of a current topic, you can become dated very quickly, especially if, 20 years from now, people are like, wait, what's Instagram? What restaurant are they talking about? You might not know, but something like this, you could watch this 20 years ago. You could watch it 20 years from now, 40 years from now. It's still going to be funny, because I would say, it's why Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, Coen Brothers hold up. It's like that when I was watching this movie, I was like, oh, it has all those elements that I like about those people and their work. Did you get that?
Yeah, I mean, it's very zany. The Coen Brothers, I think, fits in because like it wastes absolutely no time just throwing him into ridiculous situation, into ridiculous situation, into ridiculous situation. And I love It's Always Sunny, Charlie Day. I've always, just thought the man's the bee's knees. Let's just say it plainly.
The notion of Charlie Day not saying a word for the most part of the movie is that in and of itself is hilarious.
But then he also gets to play an actor who's doing method acting as Billy the
Briefly.
Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like gets to kind of have it both ways.
And then they toss in the autoerotic asphyxiation. I'm sorry. That was just like, it was just such an extra thing. But like when they did it, I was like, this is really funny.
Yeah, and I, as someone who's watched Always Sunny, you'll see him do a lot of the beats that he's done in those shows and in other movies and everything. And I don't think he's really breaking out anything super original, but it's all stuff that he does so well, and like, you know, doing it non-verbally and like just really relying on physical comedy. I don't know. It just worked. I mean, what can you say when you're just like laughing very hard at a movie? And I was laughing very hard at most of this movie. All the cameos were very fun. The other actors in the movie, they don't like really have, you know, character arcs. They don't spend a whole lot of time on that. It's just, you know, fun, crazy, zany, silly stuff. And again, not to belabor the point, but like, it's just fun. You know, it's never too intense, mean, you know, crude, gross out, etc. It is a comedy for comedy's sake.
I just realized that one of my favorite things is like Adrian Brody says something about how somebody said that you can tell a great movie if you can follow it without the audio.
Yes, I think it's a Steven Spielberg quote that
Yeah,
you
I
can,
think that's
you should
what
be
he
able to
said.
watch a movie with no sound on and be able to follow what's going on.
Yeah, and then he's like, sometimes I watch it with no sound on. Sometimes I close my eyes too.
Yeah.
Did you see him in the theater doing that?
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, so that's kind of the love. That kind of humor appeals to you. Adrian Brody playing a
But-
very silly, pretentious method acting actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of different kinds of humor in it. I think that's why it works to me. But I just realized that he said that, and I mean, he's doing a Charlie Chaplin. Like, he has a hat, he does the walk, he doesn't talk, you know. But I was thinking of the movie as a whole, like if you could watch it without the sound on, and yeah, you could. I mean, everybody is doing like such a big character
Right.
that it's easy to follow along, and you get what's happening even without them saying anything. I mean, you wouldn't get the jokes, but there's still so much like physical comedy and like visual gags and stuff that it would work just as well. Well, not just as well, but you know what I mean? Like, it would still work, and it would still be a fun watch.
Well, I think Charlie Chaplin himself was pretty influenced by Mr. Bean.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think you see that lineage carry through.
Yeah.
What if Charlie Chaplin was influenced by Charlie Day?
Oh,
Think about
That's
that.
he was
like
named
that.
after him.
Yeah.
That's,
there we
that's
go.
almost the perfect transition to the next movie, but we should wrap up this one.
got any thoughts, Dylan?
I liked it for, you know, like, can't complain. I really like the score or like the music itself.
Yeah.
I really just like the playfulness, I guess, or like the tone of the music. Whimsical sounding for some reason. I don't know. I mean, like, I liked it a lot.
I guess coming off of the Cinco-mania that was Guardians of the Galaxy,
Yeah.
it's kind of refreshing to see a movie with very few. Is there a better word for it than sync? Sync sounds so
It's what
Industry.
it's what they get called.
needle
yeah.
drops.
Yeah, you could do needle drops if you want to be a real douche.
There was a needle drop. Did you freak out?
At
Everyone
the
in the room?
the Bee Gees track?
No, she's in the bed, or he's in the bedroom with her, like classical music or something. I think, right?
No, wait, it's Wipeout.
Yeah, there's Wipeout,
There's 3.
and then he gets in the pool, and then the
Okay.
girl takes him out, and then he's in the bed with her.
Oh yeah,
She's
yeah,
holding
yeah.
a rabbit, and she
Yep.
legit put a needle on a record.
Okay.
Yeah, so that would count as a needle drop.
Everyone
for
in the
sure.
room freak out.
Everyone in the room.
Yes,
Now that you mention it, I'm freaking out now, man. That's intense.
I saw that. I went, "Oh,
There is
that's
a
a
giant
heavy
rabbit.
needle,
There's a giant rabbit.
Needle.
heavy ass needle, dude. You see the way she dropped it?
Heavy needle, heavy rabbit.
Heavy. That was a heavy rabbit. You think that rabbit was heavy?
Yeah,
It's got to be a heavy rabbit.
That sucks. She had to carry it around.
but they're soft.
That's
You-
true.
You know, this movie has I teased the Rotten Tomato rating earlier. This is a 16% on Rotten Tomatoes.
No.
1.6. You know, at least the critics or whatever, like, actively dislike this movie.
I think some of the audiences, also didn't like it too, because I was looking, on various sites, and I don't know, they're just like, why doesn't he talk?
I would guess just they don't like being made fun of.
yeah,
But
it's
it's
just
not
that simple.
meanly making fun
That's
of
what
it.
I'm saying.
It's
and-
like if you watch a like Best in Show or something where it's like it's a parody in a way, but it's not mean. It's like fun.
Yeah, there's also, I mean, a lot of the stuff in the movie, there's truth to it. That's part of the humor is like it's there's a lot of truth to a lot of how the story that's being told. You know, like you can prop up somebody that doesn't even talk, you know, if it's done right. You know, like you're breaking the fourth wall by looking at the camera just because she's never acted before. So, I've seen equally absurd things get celebrated, you know, on a pretty big scale. So I think that's where a lot of the laughter came from in watching it. But I enjoyed that.
Do you remember another really funny part? It's like it's just really quiet, and you're just looking at like a lamppost against the sky, and then it explodes. And you're like, whoa, what's that? And it's Adrian Brody shooting out of his car, careening around.
Yeah, that's where James Dean died, and he speeds up while drinking.
Yeah, I think all the side characters do a good job just fleshing out this, you know, it's an absurdist kind of surreal world.
Yeah.
It's very much not like saying, this is the real Hollywood, and this is what it's like, and aren't these people bad and evil? It's just like, here's an absurd, silly planet, and everyone in it is equally ridiculous.
This is if the shoe fits situation.
Yeah.
I think maybe, you know, to a degree, it holds up a mirror without the indictment. It's like, here's what y'all are doing.
Right,
you know?
right.
But it's not saying it's bad. It's just saying, look how ridiculous this is.
Yeah,
and because it's so ridiculous and absurd, it's funny.
Yeah, it was a fun time.
More, please. I'd like funny, silly movies that are actually funny and you can laugh at, and you don't have to walk away going, "Oh, brilliant point."
Yeah, Charlie Day's a goddamn legend, and if it wasn't already established, this is like, you know, I think the big flag waving lets you know that he's I hope he gets to do more of it. Apparently, this was done in 2018, hence Ray Liotta is still alive. And I don't know, like this must have been something where it was like, I don't know if we should release this. Fuck it, put it after Guardians and before Fast and Furious 10.
Wait, so there was nothing about why it got held up?
Not that I found, but I wasn't digging too deep. It just, you know, again, Ray Liotta's in it. It's 2018, almost 5 damn years ago. I would be so mad if I made a movie and then I had to sit on it for 5 years, especially with all these people in it. But there is, of course, like no marketing, or I haven't seen anything about the movie, at least.
It's really trippy. It says it had a $26 million budget, but then it's showing no returns for this weekend. Like there's just a flat line. So I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it will age well, and people will understand it and understand that it's a movie that's worth their time much later than its initial run.
I just hope Charlie Day gets to do more stuff, because what an icon.
You were recently talking about TV people making movies with Ray Romano.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what the verdict was.
I think my verdict was it's not necessarily because you occupy a strange space like where it's not nepotism. It's not like you get to make the movie because your dad was the studio executive.
You get your foot in the door already, though.
Yeah, it's all the foot in the door stuff that lets him make the movie. But I think it really is a case by case basis, because you for every vengeance you have a nope. For every now and then these people do have real visions and their foot in the door and all that. It's just a natural extension of their talent. And I think this is like a very Charlie Day movie.
Yeah, he knows his talent and he leans into it for this.
I mean, not to say that I went into it expecting him to be a silent character or anything.
Yeah.
But it's like, when I'm watching it, it's like, this all makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And again, I want more for the guy. I don't think if I'm seeing which way the wind is blowing, I don't know how quickly we're going to get it. But then again, if he's got fucking Luigi money.
He's got Luigi money.
Crank these shits out, man.
So on your TV personality turned director power ranking, would you put this like above Ray Romano, beneath Peele?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's not like or shoot, who did Barbarian?
Oh, that was I'm gonna get the name right. It's not Jake Kreger, it's Zach Kreger. His brother.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it as impactful as that, but it's a comedy movie. It's hard to say. I mean, it's definitely the funniest of all of those.
Yeah.
And Nope is very funny. I think the Jordan Peele movies are very funny, but when something is explicitly a comedy, I don't know.
I'm just talking about like the talent.
Oh yeah, no, this is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably equally talented in terms of just having a
Okay, that's what I was
very
getting at.
strong vision. But the vision is to tickle your funny
Silly.
bone.
Yeah.
And if I can put a little salt on this cookie here, I'll say that the third act kind of falls apart a little. They insinuate he kind of goes into politics, but that thread kind of comes unraveled quickly. It's an excuse to get a cool John Malkovich monologue, which obviously none of us are complaining about.
Nope.
But it kind of feels like maybe he ran out of steam towards the end. Doesn't, hinder the movie much. And I think when they try to have him have some emotional weight at the very end, it doesn't really hit, but that's just the plight of any movie that's very, very silly. It's kind of hard to be like, and now I know that I love my mom at the end of the movie or whatever it is.
You know what though? The film ends with him dropping the gold in the fountain and it sinks down to the fish and then the credits start. I thought that was just like artistically cool.
Oh yeah, no, there's a ton of like craft in this movie, I think. A little bit more than Ray Romano, I would say, but
I imagine, yeah.
Different story.
Different kind of story, different kind of vision. But yeah, all this like stylistic choices and the visuals look really good to me. It wasn't very I don't know. Sometimes I think when people have like big bright interiors or choices in furniture and stuff, it can be a little too masturbatory, and this didn't quite feel like that, but it did still also look really good. So again, everyone's firing on all cylinders. Everyone's doing their damn job in this poor movie that I want it to do better. So Fool's Paradise, are we cracking open an energy drink and gulping it down? Or are we is this picture going to die in development hell? I'm going to crack open an energy drink. This is a fun one. It's so weird that this has a low rating. It's like audience and critics, they're lockstep. We're like, no, this sucked. I did not enjoy this.
I'm sure it's because they just expect Charlie Day to be
zany.
He wasn't?
No, I mean like to be the character from Sunny. Like,
yeah.
Just jokes and spaghetti.
Right.
Stuff like that. Not like Charlie Chaplin.
I guess so. But man, it's pretty easy to acclimate to what he is doing, in my opinion. Anyways, I liked it.
Yeah. I'll crack open an energy drink. Everyone was good. Jason Sudeikis? Is that the
Oh my
guy?
God.
That was one of my favorite parts. I really like that he just changed his clothes for no reason.
In front of him.
Yeah.
I'm going to crack open an energy drink. I'm going to have a heart attack, and then I'm going to go in search of Charlie Day. I really enjoyed that movie way more than I thought would be possible. I had no expectations, and I got blown away. I really, really dug that movie.
Yeah, I'll drink the drink. That's good.
Hypnotic, the movie by Shark Boy and Lava Girl creator Robert Rodriguez. We got Ben Affleck. He's the main guy in the movie. There's some other folks involved. The co-writer of this movie has done the Godzilla franchise, the new one. King Kong, Skull Island, things of that nature. And that's that should tell you something.
Yep.
God, okay. Someone explain the plot of this movie. This is I don't mean to be all Christopher Nolan Tenet on this one, but
I mean, basically go to any food court and ask any person sitting in that food court to describe a Christopher Nolan movie, and it might come out sounding like this movie.
What are the bare bones of this one? People have hypnotizing powers.
Yeah.
It's the Force. Robert Rodriguez worked on The Mandalorian, and I think he probably wanted to do some stuff where someone goes, "Oh, you don't know these droids," and they go, "We don't know these droids," and they walk away. They do that trick a lot in this one, except it's police, and they're just like, "We're gonna arrest you. You don't want to arrest us," and they say, "Oh, we don't want to arrest you," and then they walk out. So in this world, there's powerful hypnotists. Hypnotics.
Yeah, big difference.
They have psychic abilities. They can influence you to do
They
something.
are not psychics.
They could say, "Go jump off a cliff," and you go, "Okay," and
Yeah,
you got to go
basically
jump
they can
off a
make
cliff.
you do stuff and they can make you see things.
And Ben Affleck in this is immune to their powers, but he finds himself in the middle of a triangle of two hypnotics who came from the same government trained organization and one of them's good and one of them's bad, but the bad one is more powerful than the one who's good. And his daughter's missing is a part of it. And the one, he's got to find her. And they go to Mexico to meet up with some other defectors from this government training organization that trains the hypnotics. And they double cross, and there's twists. And so as it goes on, it turns out that Ben Affleck and one of the ladies who's a hypnotic, they actually made a baby together. And the thing that the bad guy was looking for the whole time was actually their daughter. Because since C was the daughter of two very powerful hypnotic people, then her daughter is double hypnotic because that's how it works. They want to protect her from the organization that's going to take her and use her for bad. But whose hypnotic powers are more hypnotic than the last person is the question that this movie asks, and you're going to be on the edge of your seat trying to figure it out. This is such a 90s straight to video thriller, like action thriller. It's insane, and I feel like I just grew up watching so many movies like this that had like exactly one idea and like went crazy with them. Ben Affleck, we have seen do amazing things behind and in front of the camera. Like, we can't play this game anymore where like Ben Affleck is like a guilty pleasure, right? Like, he's the man. Like, he's good.
He's awesome.
He's very good. And he's also very bored, I think, and will just do whatever. And this very much so falls under the header of whatever. And I think for a while, it was kind of like funny to bag on Ben Affleck as like, I don't know, like a bad actor or something before he kind of got to choose smarter roles, or just picking on him for some of the lesser roles that he would pick. And he has like a duh face, like that he'll slink into from time to time. And like 80% of this movie, he just has the duh face. Like, he is so checked out during this fucking movie. It's nuts. And I don't blame him, because it's just a cobbled together gibberish plot. Like, because you think you're following this one guy who's like the Bane evil hypnotic guy. But like, then it turns out that it's a simulation, that he's just making Ben Affleck think that all of this stuff is happening so that he can find it. It's a twisty movie where it's like everything's a twist and everything's a double cross. And like, did this just happen? No, I made you think it happened. Oh, I just wanted you to think that you made me think it was happening. I wanted you to think that you made me think that I was thinking it because you made me think it, but really it did happen. But we're all just in like a storage unit somewhere, and this is all just an illusion by the hypnotics that exist. It's that kind of movie. What do you guys think?
Dylan and I were there for the first 15 minutes, so I have a question for Dylan. How long did you get into the movie thinking, whoa, this is awesome?
What do you mean? Like,
Because
when I started to think it was a good movie?
Like, all right, let me put it this way. Oh, you went and got popcorn. Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
But I got back, and they were like, this is before the guy started doing his plan.
yeah. You got back at an okay time. But like, there was a point where stuff starts popping off in the beginning where I definitely turn to you and go, oh my God, this movie's great. Because it was like the violence was really excessive and shit just got really chaotic really fast. And I was like, oh, if it's going to be like this is going to be really, really cool. But then Colin and Justine came in and the movie got really bad. So
We made you think it was bad.
or maybe it's like one of those things where you listen to like a record that you really love and then like you listen to it in front of your parents and you're like really embarrassed. So I don't know. Like, there was actual excitement in the first probably 15 minutes or so, I would say, for me. I don't know about you, Dylan. Were you enjoying the movie up to a certain point, or did you enjoy
I was enjoying the movie till the credits rolled.
Okay, there you go.
And after they
Yeah,
yeah.
during the fucking credits. I was like, hell
I feel bad for those schmucks that walked out.
They missed the crazy twist on top of the twist.
in the mid-credits scene.
That kept going in and out.
Yeah,
for
they were
no
glitching
reason.
it.
I was confused. But I was enjoying the movie the entire time. And
Really?
I think Colin can hear me enjoy
Sick.
it the entire time.
I don't know. There's something so just comforting about watching like a completely unironic 90s kind of movie. You know, like, this is 25 years too late making this, for sure. They tack a database They hack a database
with like
so many
a
times.
cartridge of some sort.
Yeah, like an NES cartridge.
Yeah.
It's like,
And the hacker has to like crack his knuckles before he does it and says, I'll give it a try. Or,
He has
something
like
that-
20 screens in his room. He has homemade Mountain Dew that comes out of like a middle school
Yeah.
chemistry set.
I think what I was saying is like, I thought it was a good movie until about 15 minutes in where everything started, twisting and twisting and twisting. Dylan, at any point, were you like, this movie's really good? The whole thing?
yeah.
Okay, sick.
It, like, especially when the fucking twist started happening. I don't know. Once he woke up in that room because they were like, look closely.
That was
I was
hilarious.
Like, I was like,
dude.
what the fuck's happening? And I was like, this is awesome. The fuck is this? This is red robes. And then like, I don't know, the scene where they faked them out with the fake hypnosis guy in Mexico. And then like it just reveals to be the bad guy.
They go real fast and loose with this hypnotizing powers.
Oh,
'cause
Yeah, you just...
basically you can convince someone that they are seeing someone that they're not. So they're having a whole ass conversation with someone about the bad guy, and then boom, it is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Just cuz.
I was really hoping when he was making out with that girl that it would just be the bad guy. And I was like, oh shit.
Damn, I would hand out.
Like he's
Oscars.
making out, then he opens his eyes, and then it's him, and he's like, "Oh
It was
shit!"
me all along.
The slash
Ben
fic
Affleck.
community is going to go nuts for this one. Trust.
Dang.
But no, yeah, I enjoyed it the entire time.
I'm gonna need to rewatch it, but this might be the new king of the I work here rule, which is every line is explaining what is happening in the movie to the audience.
There's
You
a
know what
lot
I mean?
of tell, don't show.
Yeah, exactly.
There is a stretch. I think because before it gets into the simulation with inside the simulation and your mind has been wiped and we put these memories in and your wife is not this person. Before it gets into all of that messiness, it was like, okay, it's like in that Jessica Jones show, right? She fights the purple man who has like mind control and all that. And it's like, oh, because the opening, the action sequence opening is the main evil hypnotist guy. He gets people to just, like 4 random people to just rob a bank. It's like, man, that's what a cool idea that you can just make people do crime for you, and you can make cops like kill each other and kill other people, and you have control. It'll be hard to take this villain down, and then very quickly, like probably before the second act hits, it's like, oh, it's not about that at all. They're not like putting together a team to take down the big bad. And then I don't know, I get into this place where it's like, oh, so it's not the movie I want it to be, essentially. It's this other kind of thing. I'm like, wait, who the fuck wants this? Like, this is a hard, like, no one cares about this. Like, this is no one's favorite movie. Like I said, Fool's Paradise is like, this is a weird movie, but someone was passionate about making it. Yep. They had a vision. They're like, fuck it, I'm going to make a zany movie like the ones I remember, because there's a vacuum and nothing else is like that right now. This is the opposite of that. This is like giving you the world some shit that we did not ask for.
Here's the part where I reveal to you that it cost $65 million to make, and it's projected to bring in $940,000 for the opening weekend. You're right. There is no audience for this. There is no target for this.
And I also, would totally forgive, like, hey, I'm just a guy and I'm making a movie. Like, I was hired to do this, or like, this is a what do they call that? Like a reel. Like, this is me showing what I can do as a movie. I'm making a real basic action movie and going to try to get some work out of this. It's like, all of you guys have like decades of experience. Why are you, you're not going to convince me that you were like, yo, this is sick. Like I said, Affleck is like brutally just there. Everyone is just there, which I guess is what the 65 million is for. But like,
well, there were some effects that weren't very good. That probably cost a lot.
Yeah.
They do the trippy effect of like, I guess it's a very Christopher Nolan like.
I think it's because they ran out of space when he was running around the yard.
Yeah.
So they're like,
all the PVC pipes.
He's like, what the fuck is happening? They're like, they're making you see that.
Yeah. He's actually just at the edge of the parking lot.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's why I figured, I was like, what the fuck is happening? It was like the Inception world, like the stuff's on the ceiling. And then I was like, oh, they just ran out of space.
It cuts to like trippy visuals from time to time when the hypnotist guys want to make people see that. but it's essentially just a blurred lens. It's like,
Well, yeah,
not-
like the if you're thinking of the effect I'm thinking of right now, it was just an overhead shot of the train yard in a funhouse mirror. That was it.
yeah, it's very funhouse mirror is the effect. A fisheye lens. Everything's crazy because you're looking into the eyes.
Oh yeah, at the end when
of
they're
the
all shooting each
hypnotist.
other, it's just all they do is just bend it. You're like, what?
Yeah, man. I mean, again, it's as weird as it is. Like, I do believe this is a very bad, very soulless movie. But again, there is something just kind of comfy about watching such an unironic. Like, nothing is a pastiche, nothing is an homage, nothing is like a throwback. It feels, again, very 25 years ago, but I don't think it's like a stylistic choice. Like, oh, we're going to do a crazy throwback thing. It's just that's what they can do is make movies like this. So I kind of enjoyed it in that regard, but not a banger.
There were some laughs that we had that were just as hard as Fool's Paradise, but not intended by the film.
It does seem like a straight to video
Yeah.
kind of movie. And if Ben Affleck hadn't been in it, it would have felt more like grounded in that baseline.
Right.
You just think with him in it, it was going to be something else. And
Good point.
when we walked in, he was like, why do you have this picture of my daughter or whatever? And I was like, is this another movie where Ben Affleck is looking for his daughter? Like, I don't want to see that. And I thought it was going to be kind of boring. And it's not as sci-fi as I thought it was. I thought it was going to do another spoiler for Looper, another Looper thing where it's like he's chasing himself. It's his daughter in the lockbox and he's looking for her or something. Aside, the guy, I didn't know that they were doing a bank heist in the beginning because we came in late. But that guy also in another movie where there's a bank heist in the beginning of the movie, Dark Knight.
Yeah, that's where he's from.
Yeah.
That's why I leaned over to you guys and said, "This is the craziest Batman movie I've ever seen." Because it was just it's just like he just doesn't have the suit and he's a cop, But they're like, a lot of the early part of the movie was very Batman.
You're dead. That's the line. Yeah, and I think the problem with you're only thinking that because I wanted you to think that, like these kind of twisty movies. It's like, because again, it's a fairly strong, grounded, like I'm a cop and I'm up against someone with superpowers and I'm teaming up with someone else who has these kind of superpowers, and it's the Force and it's all these things, and they're gonna get the guy. But once you can do like the reality bending thing, it's like, well, why not just everything is fake and you could do this forever. You could make this a 14-hour movie. And it's just like, well, I wiped your mind. I implanted that memory. I made you think that person was there. I made you think that car was there. I made you think this was there. Like, it's just becomes kind of tedious the more it complicates itself. And even when it's at its most simple, it's still kind of dumb.
Yeah.
So
With all that, like, back and forth, mind wipe, mind suggestion stuff, getting really muddy. That's why it's super rushed at the end where this is just exhibition. Just, this is why we did this. And then really this happened and that happened. And then we got you from here. And really this is what she's here for. And now the plan is complete.
Yeah.
Like, okay, thank you. Because I did not know where you were going with any of this. Thanks for wrapping it up for me.
And I'll fully caught, like, Tenet was a movie that was, I genuinely could not pay attention or figure out. Like, I'm not a galaxy brain person when it comes to movies like this. Like, I could follow this movie. I just did not give a single shit because there's no reason to give a shit because you could just say everything's a simulation at any time. And just the rules that it's playing by are so willy-nilly that you can't care because nothing in it is like real. And you've also seen this done in so many different iterations.
They also don't tell you who is the bad guy because there's so much twisty stuff.
Right.
That you don't know who you're supposed to be. Like, you think you're supposed to go for Ben Affleck because he's the star of the movie. But after a while, they kind of make that unclear. Like, no, he's the guy that did this thing. It's like, okay, so he's bad? We don't know until the end again when they just wrap it all up or they don't wrap it up. They just tell you what you should think.
And then the foster father doesn't abscond with the rest of the group. He stays back with the corpses for some reason.
Well, he's like, I'll clean this up because there's like
clean it up,
70 bodies. Like,
So one guy's going to do all that. Okay, got it. Yeah. The rest of them need to get away, though, in a helicopter that they know how to pilot.
Well, the twist was he tricked him. That was the bad guy the entire time.
Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, there's a mid-credit scene where they're just like, and there's another twist, but it's like you so don't give a single shit.
That's the most presumptuous like post-credit scene possible.
Because you know damn well there's not another movie like
No.
it. They're not going to make another one of this. Like, I didn't need to know the box office before I could have told you that.
Yeah.
This is dead in the water. Why are you setting up a potential sequel /
I don't know
franchise?
that. Again, I think that because it feels so 90s straight to video, I would just take it as like a Michael Jackson turning around at Thriller.
Right.
Or the whatever possession movie, then the eyes
Yeah.
glow or something. It's just like, ooh.
The gravestone, and then there's these rocks on the dirt, and they start raising up.
You know what part I really did like, though, genuinely? They're at like the hacker bunker, and
It's just a phrase you can use without a trace of irony.
yeah. And the girl is in the shower, and Ben Affleck gets like a little hypnotic by the guy over the phone. And
He gets hypnotic down.
yeah. And because he has like his own powers, he's not like super easily suggestible or whatever, but he kind of gets messed up. And so there's a part where they kind of just show you he knocks over some like pencil cup and like some stuff falls out, including a pair of scissors. And then he goes to knock on the door because the girl's taking a shower. And then he notices when he's knocking that he has the scissors in his hand.
Because he's
And
going to
like,
kill
what
the lady.
heck? Yeah, and he didn't remember grabbing him or anything. And so he stabs him into the wall because he's like, I don't want these scissors. And then they walk away from the wall, but then he has the scissors in his hand again. So it's like, oh, he must have picked them up, and he doesn't know that that's happening. And so this sets up this really weird, he kind of doesn't know what's happening. He's been told he's going to kill this lady. So he's kind of like on edge. And then they just like start making out.
And it fades to black.
Yeah, it's so weird. And so it's like this part that I'm like, finally, I think this is a cool thing that's going on. Yeah, that's kind of weird if he didn't realize that he was doing this. And then they went nowhere with it. It's like they only had that one idea, and then they stopped it.
Yeah, it was like all the charisma of a Michael Myers mask, and that just kind of like, okay, you're just kind of miming stabbing, but not really.
I mean, Robert Rodriguez can do very interesting visual things.
Yeah.
So it's not weird to see like moments like that show up where it's like suspense, is he going to kill this lady? That would be terrible.
Well, I was just trying to think of like how is he going to accidentally do it? Because
Right.
he doesn't realize like he's knocking on the door and doesn't realize he has a pair of scissors in his hand,
Yeah.
So
But that's the whole thing is once reality gets all bendy like that, I just think it's impossible
yeah.
to care. There was this, I have like this like buried memory of this fantasy novel that I would read as a kid. I think it was a Terry Pratchett, and it might have been a Discworld. And if it wasn't Discworld, it was something like that. I don't know. But basically, it was this world where everyone who's born gets like a different magic power. Like, I shoot fireballs and I make ice, very like Inhumans or X-Men or something. But everyone in the whole world does it, right? Except for this one guy. And they're like, what's your thing? Because I don't have a thing. I wasn't born with anything. Sorry. But as the book goes on, they're like, well, get out of here. We don't like you because you don't have a thing and we all have a thing and you're useless. And as it goes on, it turns out that his power is that he's immune to magic, which makes him like the super powerful person in a world that's kind of run by magic, right? That's a cool premise, right? That I remembered from a book I don't know the title or author of that I read when I was like 10. That stuck with me because it's a good premise. So that's a cool thing if you can say like, oh, my hypnotic powers, I'm immune to hypnosis, and thus I have a leg up against this villain who can use everyone's hypnosis against me. That's a cool premise. But it is quickly not that, because then he's also a hypnosist, even though early they say he can't be hypnosist. Good movie. Overall, are we going to stare into the watch as it's going back and forth, slowly counting backwards, or are we just going to walk out of the room because we don't believe in this gibberish? This is a bad movie for sure. I would be lying if I said I was like I hated it. It just has that gross 90s comfiness to it. So I'll look for a little bit, but I know damn well this is just a parlor trick. But you know, if you're really longing for the days of really garbage VHS rentals in the late 90s, this one might be for you.
Yeah, I don't know what conditions would be right for this, to be honest. Maybe if you looked into the watch and kind of like
You
got a
hypnotize
little
yourself
hypnotized,
to think this is going to be a good movie.
Yes, then maybe it might be. It has interesting ideas, but as I was clocking them while I was watching it, it's like this is Tenet, this is Existence, this is Rick and Morty, this is Memento. This, it's just a lot of ideas that you like put together from movies that had trippy stuff,
Right?
And then you kind of squished them together, and it didn't really go well together, and you didn't really write. You didn't really write. Like, you didn't really write a story to go along with it. And I would love to say like at least like the visuals were good, but they weren't either. It's a very confused movie.
There's a line delivered at the end by the bad guy that I know Colin picked up on, and maybe the rest of you did too. But it seemed like they only did just one take because he very lazily mailed it in. Do you remember the line, Colin?
We can take the daughter and go, or we could take the daughter and you don't.
Yeah, that was almost verbatim.
It was like
a trailing.
Yeah, just completely trailed off.
So bizarre.
You and your daughter can come with us, or we can take her without you.
That's what it was. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you remember. Yeah.
That pregnant pause, which is clearly do another take, but it was so off that I'm like, oh, they had like the take they're gonna use file over here, the bad takes file over there, and just something switcherooed, and
COVID
just like,
happened. The editor had to get swapped out.
Yeah, the editor's fucking mind is just fried from the 18,000th like one guy sits down, another guy sits up because they've been hypnotized. He's like, yeah, fuck it, I don't have space for this.
So if you're gonna try this at home, I would say watch the movie until the bad guy throws himself over the side of I guess it's a parking deck or a building. You could just turn it off right there. I mean, you can watch beyond that and get laughs that are unintended by the filmmakers. But if you want to watch a pretty nice, tight, exciting 10 to 15 minutes, turn it off after the bad guy throws himself over the edge.
I'd say watch it. It's fun. It's just like you like that 90s, you like that 2000s action film. You're gonna love this film. If you're a dad that's over the age of like 55, you probably like this too. Also, my take is that Robert Rodriguez did this so he can do the next Spy Kids movie. He's like, all right, I'll do this film.
Who's challenging Robert Rodriguez's claim to the Spy Kids?
Because the last two were not the best.
Oh, so he's
like, let me do it again.
Or he'll make another one of these if you don't let him make the.
Well, no, he's like, hey, I want to make another Spy Kids. It's like, the last two didn't perform well. Well, what about I do a movie you want me to do, and then after that I get Spy Kids 7. Okay.
It's Spy Kids Armageddon, by the way.
Yes.
Brent, you got a game for us?
Yes, I do. In fact, normally we record on Sundays, but tonight, live from Carlsbad, California, it's Saturday night. That should tell you everything. Your first movie is from 1994. You have 9 actors to work with. Maltin called this one a bomb. The description is as follows. The main actor's cheerfully obnoxious, androgynous character from Saturday Night Live skits was never a prime candidate for feature film stardom. If you can get through the first 5 minutes, you may get through the whole movie, as the character finds true love with the equally androgynous Chris, barely released theatrically, and the lead actor co-scripted.
I got title and one actor.
I got title, and this is extremely not fair.
How's it not fair?
Because Colin remembers all these goddamn fucking people in these movies.
Dude, I feel this is a varied list.
Oh, I know what movie it is. I cannot name you the
No, what I'm saying is, like,
person.
I'm going to cover a bunch of decades, so, like, you stand a chance.
You know, I might not have the right actor.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I don't think I have the right actor. I just realized that I confused it with a different one.
Got up to 9. So if you can think of some of the cameos.
Yeah,
or,
see, that's what I'm saying. You can just name the entire
Yeah, exactly.
cast.
Yeah, just go drive-by style. I'll get like 3 of them right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Phil
Yeah.
Hartman in this movie?
Well, why don't you get
Okay,
the
that was
title
one wrong one.
first?
It's Pat, and then
Say the full title.
it's Pat. And then,
Gotcha.
see, I wanted to say Al Franken, but I know that's not it. Is Al Franken in the movie? I don't know who
Are
plays
we,
Pat.
are we having him name it and do actors? What are we doing?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
mean, what?
don't have. I just knew the name.
You know the
Yeah,
name?
I think I'm.
Okay, Justine, you know the name, obviously.
I have no idea who's in this movie. I just know that title.
Do you have the lead?
No, it's I was completely confusing it with the Al Franken character. So yeah, I don't.
Oh, okay. Well, your lead is Julia Sweeney.
Julia fucking Sweeney. Jesus Christ. That's
Other-
a deep cut. Come on.
I know. That's why I'm surprised you didn't even get that.
Other
We all knew the
notables
name.
you could have gone with are Kathy Griffin, Tim Meadows, and Camille Paglia.
Yeah, you just got to guess Tim Meadows on all of these. And
Yeah, you'll be all right if you do that. All right.
Is it a tie?
yeah, that's
We all
a
knew
zero.
it's Pat.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
draw.
that one would be considered a tie
Okay.
for sure. This next one's from 2010. It's 90 minutes long, and it got 2.5 stars from Maltin. You have only 6 actors to pick from. The description is as follows. How much mileage can a comedy get from a single joke? Quite a bit, judging from the guffaws to groaners ratio in this broadly played, raunchily written farce inspired by Saturday Night Live sketches spoofing the 1985 to 1992 TV series that it's based on. It's undeniably funny as a lost in the 80s action hero who somehow tries to prevent an over-the-top bad guy from nuking Washington, D.C.
I got title in 2.
Title and 2, that's pretty good.
I don't know if the actors I have in mind are listed.
Okay, I like that.
I think I have 2 and the title.
Okay.
I wonder if I can go 3. If I could go do guess 3.
Let me take a look here. You could one.
Well, we got 6. Jeez.
Yeah, they only said 6.
I think 5 are reasonable out of the 6. 1 is a little left field.
Okay, I'll guess one that I don't think Justine will guess, and if I guess wrong, I'll
Go to
fall
her.
flat in my face.
Well, I'll say if you guess one and it's wrong, you should still be able to guess your other 2.
Well, I know we both know the 2.
Well, then you would win for trying
Yeah.
hard.
I mean, I'm just I'm thinking of the contemporaries.
Really quick though, Dylan, do you want in on this?
Nah, I don't even remember the main two's name.
Okay.
Well,
That's where I
we
fall
can
flat.
spoiler. We'll cut it out. It's MacGruber, it's Will Forte, it's Kristen Wiig,
Okay.
and
Who?
Is MVP listed? Forget his real name.
is Will Ferrell in it?
Will Ferrell is not listed.
Is Tim Meadows in it?
Is Andy Samberg listed?
No,
Ooh, well, great question. Is Tina Fey in it?
not
Is
listed.
Chris Farley in it?
Not listed.
We haven't seen MacGruber in a very long time.
I
If you
haven't
can't
seen it at
tell,
all.
Is Mark Henry in it?
Not listed.
Is The Big Show in it? Paul
Not
something?
listed.
Chris Kattan in it.
Not listed.
Chris Kattan. I did name Chris Farley.
He was dead at the time.
I
right?
know.
Yeah.
oh shit!
there-
1 second.
Hold
1
on,
second.
hold on.
There's only one Saturday Night Live.
Amy Poehler.
No.
Damn it. Okay, I don't know.
So I would say of the 4 remaining names,
Yes.
one is definitely Saturday Night Live alumni. Another one's former teen heartthrob. Another's a legend. And then there's one that, like I said, is kind of out of left field.
Let's just call this one a draw. Who else
Hold
is in the
on, hold on.
movie?
Is Will? Did you say Will Ferrell?
I did say Will Ferrell, who is a legend. So,
Adam Sandler.
No.
Sherry O'Terry.
No.
David Spade.
ooh, that's a good pull.
No.
Molly Shannon.
No.
You're just bringing names into the abyss that are going to be used in future
Tim Meadows.
questions.
Yeah, you're
Already asked that.
you're cramming for the test. Is what
Yeah.
you're doing. No.
Okay, nobody.
Okay, so the former teen heartthrob is Ryan Felipe. Powers Booth would be what I consider left field. I'd be impressed if somebody got that. Maya Rudolph is your SNL alum. And your legend is Val Kilmer.
The legend is Maya Rudolph, for God's sake. God
Yeah.
damn, that's
Yeah.
Of the Rentals, Maya Rudolph. Come on, man.
I know.
If you're friends with P, then you're friends with me.
Of Idiocracy? Come on.
Okay, your next movie is from 1999. It's only 81 minutes, and it got 1.5 stars. You have 8 actors to choose from. One-note comedy in which the lead recreates her SNL character, a dorky, self-deluded Irish Catholic schoolgirl who wears the unsexiest white underwear, dreams of fame, and pursues the most popular boy in class. Little improvement over such SNL-derived feature films as It's Pat and A Night at the Roxbury.
How many do you got?
I'm in Title and Her.
Title and Her? I can do Title, Her, and Him.
I can do Title, Her, and Him. I'm trying to remember who else.
Okay.
I mean, I could take a stab in the dark after Title, Her, and Him.
Yeah, same. I mean, I guess we all can.
Oh,
We
wow.
can the entire fucking time.
There's one I think Dylan might know for sure.
I'm trying to remember that movie. It's been like decades.
All right, fuck it. Superstar. We know Molly Shannon.
Shannon,
Yep.
Will
Will
Ferrell,
Ferrell.
Yep.
Chris Kattan?
No.
Norm McDonald.
No.
Sherry O'Terry.
No.
Tim Meadows.
No.
All right.
Jerry.
I think
Terry.
we're on a feedback loop here.
Wait, hold on. We got it.
You know what? You don't name any more SNL people.
That's it.
No, well,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it for.
And I'm gonna get. I don't know.
But okay, so 1999.
Brendan Fraser.
Damn, you're getting close, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember the movie.
Go
itself.
funnier.
Is it Freddie Prinze Jr.?
No.
Who plays the hot guy? Well, I guess we'll find out.
Funnier than Brendan Fraser.
Way funnier. You would find him way funnier.
And funnier than Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah, you would find him way funnier.
And he's hot.
No.
Jason Biggs.
Let me put it this way. Drew Barrymore thought he was hot for a minute.
Oh, Tom Green.
Bam.
Oh, that's right. God damn it.
Yeah, so
Oh, man.
Tom Green. Would have been impressed if anybody got Harland Williams. And that's really it. You know, because you got.
who's that?
It's a force.
Harlan Williams is he was in Rocket Man, the real Rocket Man. He played he's like a 90s slapstick actor.
Wasn't he a half-baked guy?
Oh yeah, he wasn't one of the main. He wasn't
He's
one
the
of
guy
the
that
core.
goes to jail, right?
Trying to think of what you would know Harlan. Hold on.
Other actors in it are Elaine Hendricks, let's see, Mark McKinney, Glynis Johns, and Emmy Laybourne.
I've not heard of any of those people except for
I know.
Molly
Green.
Shannon.
The sketch sold the movie. You don't need to pay for star power after that.
Yeah, nah, my guess for Tom Green doesn't count. You gave a pretty big hint.
Oh, okay. That is a crazy name for him.
That's a crazy name.
I don't know what I would have thought his name
He goes
was.
to space with a monkey, doesn't he?
Yeah, and Rocket Man.
That's it. That's Rocket Man.
The real Rocket
Why
Man.
am I thinking of Rocketeer?
Oh,
Because
wow.
you just like good movies.
That's true.
Yeah, you love
I
great
love good movies.
Your next movie is from the year 2000. It has 2 stars. You have 10 actors to choose from. And the description is as follows. Kinky comedy about a sex-driven radio talk show host who has a bad habit of sleeping with married women. Your lead is exceedingly funny, but the film once again proves that SNL TV skits are meant to be just that, skits.
Again, title and one.
How are you going to say that after Wayne's World? That these are like one of the most popular movies of
Well,
the
it's probably
decade.
because it's you get Night at the Roxbury and Superstar and It's Pat. Wayne's World becomes its own thing at that
I
point.
guess so. Anyways, I think I got 2.
Mm-hmm.
I got 3, but I think I'm confusing another movie.
Let's rock it. Let's go with
Go
3.
for it. Yeah.
You-
No, this is all you,
You
King.
got it, dog.
Oh man, see now I'm,
Come
now
on,
I'm
big
scared.
boy. You got 3.
Now I'm scared of the title.
Really?
Is it Soul Brother? Oh wait. Oh fuck. Never mind. I got the wrong movie in my head then. You go first.
Okay. Movie call?
Well, yeah, you actually got me too. It's
You thought the same title?
I know
No.
his title.
Oh.
well, yeah. Why don't you get the title if you have the title locked in?
It's Ladies Man.
Ladies Man. I was like
Fuck.
Lover Man.
Yeah.
What's Soul Brother then? Am I making that up? Is that Soul Plane?
Oh, Soul Plane's definitely a movie.
And what is the other one I'm thinking of?
Ladies Man. Jeez, that's it. So it's Tim
Oh,
Meadows.
Soul Brother is that the one where the guy goes to college because he goes in blackface?
No, that's Soul Man with C. Thomas Howell. Yeah.
Is Maya Rudolph in this one?
Maya Rudolph is not listed.
God, how am I drawing? No,
Is Carmen Electra in it?
Carmen Electra is not listed.
See, now I'm confusing these movies.
You may be thinking of another babe from the era. Justine, did you remember any of the actors?
I just know Tim Meadows.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently I just know Tim Meadows too.
I've never seen any of these movies.
I've seen all of these movies once and half.
From their
like half
SNL
paying
sketches.
attention.
Oh.
Let me see
Half
if
paying attention and very much so confusing them with the best of Tim Meadows compilation DVD.
let me see if this triggers anybody. It's got an SCTV person in it.
Oh, the Eugene Levy?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yep. And then I'll say an SNL legend.
Tim Meadows.
Oh, yeah. I mean, fucking A.
Covered that.
Dan Aykroyd?
No, more recent.
Oh, Will Ferrell?
Yes.
Okay.
Will Ferrell's in it. An actor that's been in Star Wars.
Carrie Fisher.
A male actor that has been in Star
Chewbacca.
Wars.
Peter Mayhew.
Lando.
Yes.
Mm,
Billy D. Williams. And then let's see. You've also got Tiffany Amber Thiessen is who you're thinking of instead of Carmen Electra.
how could you possibly?
Yeah.
My bad, everyone.
This one's got Jimmy Fallon in it and Julianne Moore.
I want an SNL movie marathon. I want to watch all these great, great movies.
Have fun.
They're all good.
Okay.
What's the movie where there's a guy in the front and there's two chicks and one of them's Carmen Electra?
Undercover Brother.
Fucking damn it. See, I
What's
got
up?
that movie mixed up.
Yeah, it's Undercover Brother.
And then I was like, Soul Men, and then Soul Man. And I was like, God damn it. What is this movie? And I made up Soul. Now I sound stupid.
When Undercover Brother came out, I had just entered the workforce, which meant I'd go see, like Tuesday matinees for my entertainment, that type of thing. And so my girlfriend and I, we went to this mall called Potomac Mills where the theater was, and we decided to see Undercover Brother. And it was just us, and then there was just this really old man who just like walked in and sat in front of us, and we're like, okay, cool. You like Tim Meadows? I get it. Movie goes in about 25 minutes, and he turns around and he goes, is this the Hunt for Red October? We're like, no, sorry. You watched 25 minutes of that and didn't discern that it wasn't. Your next movie is from 1993. It's 88 minutes long. It got 3 stars. You have 23 actors to choose from. So you can kind of throw a dart and probably hit some people. The description is unexpectedly benign and good-natured comedy based on the 1970s Saturday Night Live skits. A family from planet Remulac lands on Earth in a botched mission and, to their own surprise, adapt to middle-class suburban life. A most enjoyable family film that combines silliness with some sly and unexpected gags. Amusing cameos by a gaggle of past and present SNL cast members. Watch for Drew Carey in a taxi.
I got one.
Yeah, I got one.
I got two.
Wait, hold on.
We got 23 to choose from.
Well, I got Drew Carey now. That's one. So now I got 3. Yeah, I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's not listed in the actors. That was just like a cameo
man.
that got mentioned.
Well,
That's how stacked. the
Yeah,
lineup
my
is.
pull for female SNL cast members is really weak, especially of that like older era.
I think I got 3, but I probably getting the girl wrong.
I got 2 on lock.
Yeah, I got 2 for sure.
Justine?
I have one.
Oh, I got 4. But that's
Oh.
only if the girl is right.
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
gonna say
that would
this is
still mean you have 3.
I would call 3 and then name the girl as a bonus for 4.
I just blanked on the guy's name. Hold on, damn it. Oh, okay. You want me to guess?
I'm ready when you are. Go
All right.
ahead and do it.
Colin?
Oh yeah, this is all you.
All right, is it Coneheads?
It is Coneheads.
All right, this is where I am confusing the names. I'm going to guess the girl first.
All right.
Is the daughter... Oh, I think I'm wrong. Christina Applegate?
I don't think that's the daughter.
That's where I got confused.
What's the wife's name though? That's what I'm.
That's what I
I
forget.
know this is insane.
I know her from Third Rock from the Sun.
She's a legend.
She is. She always plays space stuff.
Yeah, I don't have Christina Applegate in here.
Damn
I
it.
don't
So it's not
remember
the daughter
her
then.
name. Yeah.
But I have... Is Chris Farley still in there? Is he listed?
He is, yes.
Okay. Levitz.
Yep, John
And
Lovitz.
then Levitz.
Yeah, I know what you meant.
Oh, and then... Oh, no. No, I forgot the guy's name now. Aykroyd.
Yes, Aykroyd, of course. Yeah. So,
Phil Hartman.
yes,
Mm.
Phil Hartman for sure.
Those were the two I had. Was Aykroyd and Hartman.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you got Aykroyd, Jane Curtin.
Jane,
is your
goddamn
legend.
Curtin.
Michelle.
Jane, you ignorant person.
Yeah. Didn't know if you're going to do
Should
it or
get
not.
some knowledge, please.
I'll
don't.
give you some of the notables. You got Jason Alexander, Chris Farley, you mentioned. David Spade is in it. You mentioned Phil Hartman. Dave Thomas from Wendy's. Sinbad from Sinbad. Michael
Man.
Richards from Racist Tirades. Got Lovitz. Kevin Nealon. Adam Sandler. Lorraine Newman. Tim Meadows. Julia Sweeney. Ellen DeGeneres. Parker Posey. And Joey Lauren Adams.
You didn't guess Tim Meadows.
What a weird.
Yeah. I was hoping somebody would say
I thought
it.
it was too early.
It's such a strange time.
Yeah.
There's like nostalgia for early SNL, so they got to make this movie like 15 years after this cast was on air for no real reason. I don't know why it worked.
Was that an SNL sketch?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Comments.
Yeah. We are from France.
Yeah.
We got two more. This one is from 1998. It's 82 minutes. You have 11 actors to choose from. The uncool Butabi brothers from Saturday Night Live get, rather than rate, their feature film debut. A limp comedy about their attempt to wile themselves into the town's trendiest night spot. Talk about the last day's disco. 5 minutes of material gets stretched into nearly an hour and a half. The 2 stars also scripted. Chaz Palminteri has a cameo.
I have 3.
I just got 2.
You got 3. Nice.
But I don't know. I'm guessing.
That's awesome. No, it's reasonable to have 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I'm confusing the third one, but I for sure have the 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, anything past 2 would be just a guess for me.
All right.
Yeah.
You want to have Dylan take a
Yeah,
stab at
Dylan.
it? All right.
All right, it's Night at the Roxbury.
It is.
Will Ferrell, Chris Kattan, and isn't it Molly Shannon?
Yeah, you got it.
Tim Meadows in this one?
Tim Meadows is not in
God
this.
damn
That's
it.
the one we did. The one.
Sherry O'Terry in this one.
Sherry O'Terry not in this one. You got Colin Quinn in it. You got Richard Grieco as himself. Lonnie Anderson as a babe. And that's really it for notables.
I haven't seen that movie.
Again.
I have seen that movie. though.
SNL movie marathon. Best
It's
movies.
Pat. You gotta watch
You
it.
start with It's Pat.
Yeah, start there.
You kick it off
95,
there.
whatever.
I used to, in the video, you know this, in the video stores, if you wanted a poster or a cardboard cutout, you just put your name and number on the back. For some reason, I put mine on It's Pat, and wouldn't you know it, I got it.
Weird there wasn't competition for that.
So I put it on my bedroom door just to freak out my dad. All right, your final
No
movie.
son of mine will be a student of comedy.
Yeah, exactly. Your final movie is from 1993. It is 94 minutes long. It was assigned 2 stars by Maltin. You have 11 actors to choose from. The Party Boys return with one of the characters organizing a music festival and being seduced by Honey Horney in a tailor-made role she plays to the hilt. Tired gags from the first film run throughout, but occasional bits and cameos, especially from the better actor, make it worthy.
That's rude to say the better actor.
I know. I love what I'm seeing. I'm seeing Dylan go deep into his thoughts to
You
rack
guys can
out.
take this one. I was not like.
So yeah, we've got
super-
11 to choose from.
I have 3, but I'm trying to remember the 4th.
You
Hold
could,
on.
because remember, this is the second.
I
Yeah,
know.
See, that's the thing. I could be confusing the first and second.
Yeah, so you get, each one you have cameos, and this one, some notables for sure.
You can rock.
All right. Wayne's World 2,
Yes,
Mike Myers, Dana Carvey,
obviously.
Chris Farley.
Yes.
And then I'm trying to remember the fucking woman's name.
Tia Carrera, isn't it?
Tia Carrera.
Yeah.
Phil Hartman is in the first one. Is he in this one?
Phil Hartman not listed for the second one.
Is he in the first one? Oh, wait.
Uh,
Colin Quinn is in the first one, right? Doesn't he
let's
play?
see.
Who plays that like vet?
Okay, so your first one, I'm going to give you the roster. Myers and Carvey, obviously. Rob Lowe, Tia Carrera, Brian
So
Doyle
she is in
Murray,
the first one too.
Right.
Laura Flynn Boyle, Kurt Fuller, Colin Camp, Donna Dixon, Meatloaf, Ed O'Neill.
Meatloaf. That's such a good pull.
Is
Ed O'Neill is the vet guy. God damn it. That's
is
a good
Alice
one.
Cooper in the second one?
He's not listed. For the second one, you've got the main 3 that we've already listed. Christopher Walken, Kim Basinger, Ralph Brown, Ed O'Neill again, Harry Shearer, who does a lot of voices on The Simpsons, James Hong, Drew Barrymore, and Chris Farley.
Yeah. Where is Alice Cooper? Which one is that one?
I thought that was the
Probably
first one.
Is that the first one?
Yeah.
And he's not listed in there?
Not listed.
Did they level up to Aerosmith in the second one or not?
For the festival?
Yeah.
I think so.
It's a weird time.
Is that a level up?
Yeah, in
At the
terms
time it
of
was,
relevancy.
because they had like a hit every like month on MTV.
It's so weird to think of like sucking off Aerosmith as like a, hey, we're cool. We like Aerosmith. It's a weird fucking time.
All right, so that's your SNL edition of Maltin. Dylan, what are we watching next?
Unlimited.
Hey everybody, thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Regal Movie Masters Unlimited. Next week we got Blackberry, the biopic we all asked for, starring another actor from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. We got an animated movie for you with Rally Road Racers, and it has a star-studded cast, and I'm actually surprised by it, and I'm now stoked. And we also got Fast X. So buckle up with your family, and let's get ready to ride. We're going to race, blow up a city, and we're definitely going to take down some helicopters because it's going to be a fun, action-packed movie. Anyway, guys, see you in the theaters. Bye.